Hello there, welcome back to the Comic Book Report. And today we're finishing up the book that we started last week, The Immortal Iron Fist, and we're doing chapters 9 through 16. And then there was other stuff in there that I didn't read, but it wasn't related to this story in particular, so I skipped over it, strapped for time. Anyways, we're gonna start off with some general thoughts, and then we can move on to the multiple storylines that I noticed, or the multiple perspectives.
Okay.
And a little bit more nuance, and then questions will come along the way. So my general thoughts is, and the last part, I made a point in saying that the first 8 chapters setup was a really good setup to a really good story, and I feel that these 8 chapters followed through on that. And I was at some points I got lost in who was who, but I got the overall story, I got the point, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed especially chapter 14. And I enjoyed the last page that we'll get to, the very last page of the book. And yeah, and I like the themes, had multiple themes, and it left a lot of room. The ending of this book left a lot of room for even more compelling story, now that I know most of the characters, and especially I know Wendell and Orson and Danny a lot better. It'll be more compelling story down the line, so I'm looking forward to reading the next story. So I feel like the main theme of the story was that the Iron Fist, the War of the Iron Fist never stops. Even though they have multiple Iron Fists and they go through cycles and stuff, but the war that they're fighting evil never stops, just like good never stops. So I guess that's the basic plot point, but I enjoyed the way they executed it. And I'm going to go down to multiple storylines. I noticed 3. So you're following Danny Rand's perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're following Wendell background, grew up with Davos and stuff like that. Like he trained with Davos, and then he...
Was that Davos that he trained with? I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably just misunderstanding.
And then...
Misremembering.
And then the next part was like Zal dealing with the Heroes for Hire and Hogarth. I don't really have much to say about that one, but Zal was interesting later. So you have to fill me in at some points. But I remember we started off as like the tournament. He gets Danny Rand is in the tournament, faces Fat Cobra, gets his ass beat, and I noticed somewhere down, like some person just mentioned passing that the Iron Fist was undefeated in the tournament. Is that they didn't make a big deal out of that? They said somebody was undefeated in the tournament. He just lost. You know, it'd be a big deal.
Yeah, I think it was. It's just that when they have the tournament of the 7 Heavenly Cities, the Iron Fist has always come out on top, or at least for the most part come out on top.
And the 7 Heavenly Cities thing, that tournament, is that more like a celebration, or is it a combination of celebration and competition, or is it see who has the superior city?
It's a combination of celebration and competition.
Like they're not like mean to each other. It's all like good sportsmanlike conduct. Besides,
for the most part?
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, they're very competitive and they can be a little cold.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, as you'll see in Volume 2 of the collected edition, they can put it aside when they need to, or when they know that it's the right.
I mean, they did at the end of this. They all united together to fight off that train that was about to penetrate Kunlun and destroy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then after that, they all joined together to start researching about the 8th Heavenly City that Zal alluded to before his death. That was very end. And yeah, I'm very interested in that dynamic. Or like the 7 Heavenly Cities, are they like under, like what is the name of them all together? Like, are they make up a country, or I don't know.
No, they're all 7 of them, or I guess technically 8 of them, are pocket dimensions. So if the entire Marvel universe is a house, this is how I've heard it described. If the entire Marvel universe is a house, each room is a pocket dimension. Like your broom closet is Asgard, which is where Thor lives. Your living room is like Earth. And then your bathroom would be Kunlun, and another closet would be Kunzi. You know, it'd be something like that.
And well, going back to Zal, in 14, where we we have all the champions uniting to block the train that's about to destroy the gates of Kunlun and destroy the city. Danny, he has I guess through all his readings and him improving, he has the power to now turn himself into like this fiery mass and punch the train and destroy it and burn it all up. And he was like, yeah, if I die, if this works, I might die, I might not. So I'm just gonna take a chance, I'm just gonna go do it. And it seemed like he was gonna die. I'm like, oh, that's the end for him. That's unceremonious. But he didn't end up dying for some reason. I forgot. It did have a reason for him not dying, but I forget. I'm like, okay, that was cool. But after that, they unite on the other side, on the Earth side of that dimensional rift, that like portal, because the heavenly cities are different plane dimension, as we talked about. So they went through that gate, and they're on Earth now, and that's where the heroes are for hire, and the Hydra people are, and Zao. And then they pin them down, and, they fuck up Hydra as you do. So I've noticed. And Danny has Zao. It was Zao between a cliff and Danny. Either way, probably really fucked up. But he said, you know what? I'm not gonna die by your hands. I'm gonna jump off this thing. Before that, he said, someone will avenge my death, so I don't care if I die. And he alluded at that 8 heavenly city, which apparently no one else knows about. Well, majority of the people don't know about, and champions don't know about. Which I find odd.
I think that's something that the leaders like UT and Crane Mother keep. I don't think they introduced the other leaders, but I think that's something they keep like to themselves.
Crane Mother she wasn't in. She was alluded to like once in like chapter 9, but she was not seen in like the second half of the book.
Yeah, she's a bit more of a behind the scenes kind of worker.
Okay. But yeah, though, I feel like Zao sacrificing his life for the cause, and I guess Danny captured him and like interrogated him maybe to get more information about whatever he's doing. But he didn't have to say anything about an 8 heavenly city. Like, I guess he didn't know that they didn't know that. Like, okay, now we have a reason for a second book now, I guess. But there you go. But yeah, but him killing himself for that cause and said somebody else will avenge my death, he has a lot of faith in whoever's behind him.
That faith is justified.
I'm assuming that it is, because he seemed like a very cocky bastard from chapter 1.
If he has faith in the person / being I think he has faith in, it's entirely justified. Because the second collection starts off crazy.
Right. But him killing himself for the cause, I feel like kind of goes back. Not only is it like the faith that he has, but kind of goes to like, I feel like non-Western cultures are more, I don't want to say altruistic, but they're more like communal. Like their lives matter less than the overall culture and overall country that they're a part of. And it's all about honor your family, honor your country. Rather than the Western states, we're all individuals, and
very individualistic.
Yeah, we value our lives way more than a lot of times other people's morals, other people's feelings. Yeah, that kind of relates to the thing we were talking about before the video started. Yeah. But anyways, you agree with that? Do you see that?
Yeah, it's something that's been brought up in a lot of different instances.
I don't know. The part we need to toe a line somewhere between that. America need to reach somewhere where we're more altruistic, not too much. Because I feel at some point, like in some of the scenes, like the war scenes, is like you should like it's glorious to die for your country. I mean, to some extent it is, but like you shouldn't look forward to dying in a war. Or I made this joke before when Davos was ordering the Hydra to go kill Danny. They're like, die for me, my Hydra, or my Legion, or whatever. I'm like, no, you should go tell them to fight effectively. If you die, you die. That's okay. You tried. Like, you're promoting death in this. I'm like, I don't know. Someone's off-putting about that.
I mean, it's one of those things where when it comes up, they know they're going to die, and so they're going to, like, if there's like a 100% chance that they're going to die, they're gonna talk about dying with honor.
Maybe you shouldn't be fighting that war then, or that battle. It's a 100% chance.
Well, I mean, that's usually not something that comes up going into the battle. It's something that starts to develop. Although Eastern cultures are way more honor-driven and honor-bound than we are.
I remember when you say like they know they're gonna die, it reminded me of 300, the original 300. When that last scene they're fighting the Persians, and it seemed like they were just satisfied with dying. They just kept going, even though it was like the last third of the movie, but like the arrows were pelting them. And they probably, like when they got on that boat to go to the other side of the ocean, they were like, yeah, we're probably gonna die. There's only 300 of us. We're gonna keep fighting, see how far we can push them back. Even though we're heavily outnumbered, only 300 of us. Title of the movie. Yeah, and they got fucked pretty hard.
Title of the comic book.
Oh, for real, they have a comic book?
Yeah, written by Frank Miller.
Oh, we need to go half and half on that. All right. Anyways, kind of relates back to that.
Yeah.
But anyways, after that, chapter 15 was a different story. That went somewhere else. It was like a different, like a past Iron Fist, and he was like a really smart guy. I guess we could talk about that. I think his name was Bang Wei.
Okay.
And they always called him like the smartest guy in the room. He knows everything. And then for some reason he went through some sort of adversity, and he had to get paired up with some other champion from Nepal. Like he was a guy that was working for some emperor in Nepal, or India or something like that. I don't remember, but he basically found out that he's not smart. I mean, he is smart, but his intelligence did not extend to having a vision or acting on instinct. So you learn that knowledge isn't everything. It's only so much. It's only so powerful, Sam. So you need to have a vision.
Yep.
But yeah, I was only go to 16, and all the champions, like you said, start to unite and try to find that 8 cities. Start reading a lot of books. And that Krober, he's a funny guy.
He is a funny guy.
He's a funny guy. I enjoy him because he's sometimes very kind of serious, kind of intense book. I mean, life and death situations. People are just Hydra's getting killed left and right, and they're Hydra and all. They're like useless NPCs basically. I feel for them. It's like humans under that costume. I'm pretty sure, right? Allegedly.
Sure.
Okay.
But yeah, never mind.
No.
That was gonna be a joke that would be in poor taste.
Okay.
Because I disagree with it.
Okay. But Hydra, the Legion is called Hydra. I thought they would be, like they say, Hail Hydra. I thought they would be like the leader would be called Hydra. I really don't.
Nope.
Like you say, Hail Hitler. That's the leader. Hail Hydra. All of us. Like a really strong brotherhood or something. They're hailing each other.
Well, like a Hydra, you cut off one head, 2 grow back.
Oh.
You kill one Hydra member, 2 more take their place. It's that sort of theme running through their operation. That's why they don't care about death. You kill 1, 2 more step up. Kill those 2, 4 more step up. Or 6 more step up.
Is that like a metaphorical thing, or do they actually grow?
Kind of both. Well, they don't actually grow. Like, 2 more people don't sprout up on the spot.
Just press that X button and respawn.
But it's just like, as they die, their numbers are so plentiful and their soldiers are so expendable that they can just keep throwing as many as they have.
Well, where do they get these people from? Like, who's volunteering for this army?
I'm sure a lot of it's like cloning and stuff.
Okay. Like
cloning and robots and all sorts of sci-fi, fantasy goodness.
I'm so happy that... Wait. Because cloning, people say cloning is real. Like, my dad showed me this conspiracy video of is Dave Chappelle a clone now ever since he came back from Africa? And I'm like, they show all these pictures that he looks different. And I'm like, oh, he does look different in those pictures. But when I ever saw a new comedy special, he looked a little same, like he gained a little bit of weight. But I can tell that's Dave Chappelle. But anyways, cloning. That'd be pretty scary if they start using cloning to make soldiers. Because whoever gets that power first basically is going to win the war.
It depends.
I mean, there are nuclear weapons. Maybe that's the equalizer. But that's pretty scary if you're going against... you need superhero powers to beat that many people. Mass
effective cloning is going to take a long time to perfect. At least, as far as the public is concerned, from what knowledge is available to the public, that's going to take a long time to...
I mean, I could tell those 2 different Chappelles didn't really look similar.
They could be further along than they're letting us know, but that's a conspiracy thing that we don't need to get into.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Cloning... War?
I forgot. We move on to the next thing then.
Okay.
In the chapter 16, the last chapter was about Danny settling down after this little kerfuffle, extended kerfuffle. He started
Extended kerfuffle.
He had like he's a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Multi-billionaire. He starts spending his money for the good of the community. He builds a dojo / school system where he trains kids and makes them like work well to teach them like the incentive is if you get good grades, I'll teach you cool moves. I kind of like that. I wish I had that growing up. Instead, I had get good grades. I won't yell at you as much. That's great.
Yeah.
Anyways, he started being a really nice guy. Definitely altruistic because he donated to the homeless. Out his way. He went to the people and actually gave them stuff. And he bought a building, like a really high-end restaurant, turned that building into a headquarters for the Heroes for Hire, even though that's like an official headquarters, but the Heroes for Hire is very unofficial. The fugitives, that's what Luke said. I guess illegal.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Luke and Danny are fugitives. Technically, because remember way at the beginning when they showed us the flyer?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, Misty Knight and Colleen Wing, when they were running the Heroes for Hire, worked with Tony Stark, and they were not
the
fugitives.
man that they said, yeah.
But I think technically, Luke and Danny, they might not be fugitives. When they join up with that, that might technically erase their fugitive status. But
I guess as soon as they register, all of those past crimes go away.
well, as far as they know, they were never caught.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So maybe it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right away, retcon it or whatever. But we came to a point, seeing that Misty and Danny, butt naked in bed, I'm pretty sure either post-coital or they just woke up after sleeping, right after they had sex. Definitely fucked them. I'm very sad I didn't see that scene, but anyways, they're naked, they wake up, Misty wakes up, starts saying something about Fig Newtons, goes to the refrigerator, starts eating. I don't know, we see your butt cheeks. And they start talking, Danny starts questioning their relationship. Is it gonna work? Who are we? And I wonder where that goes. Misty kind of like dismisses it, she doesn't really answer the question. So I wonder what she views the relationship is, because Danny is he doesn't know where it's at. Relationship is a two-way street, Misty.
They know.
They just don't want to say it head on.
They don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, they aren't good at conveying things. But they both know where they are.
Alright. I wonder how that relationship manifests itself in the next story. And then finish off with Daniel Rand. He's reading more of the history of the Iron Fist, and he's rereading it, and he said, how did I miss this before? Like, he's looking at the history of all these Iron Fists, and all of them died at the age 33, except Orson, who disappeared at the age 33.
Yeah, they all.
And he's like, oh my god. And then you see next panel, friends come in, big fat birthday cake and two threes on top of that cake. His 33rd birthday.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. And that was the last page of the book. I'm like, good job.
You remember when I said that Zhao, the man Zhao has faith in, is completely justified? Yeah. 33 is a ripe old age for death.
It's also Larry Bird's number. So next little point of view that they had. I mean, all the point of views kind of unite in the end, but they start off, with the 3 second ones. So the second one I noticed was the story of Wendell and Orson and Davos, because they're all kind of intertwined with each other. So Wendell, growing up, a little boy, trained under Thunder's dojo.
Yeah, Lee Kong.
Lee Kong, that's his name. Oh.
The Thunder is Davos' father.
It's his father. And Wendell,
sure.
They said later that he was adopted. He was adopted by the Thunderer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeesh. What's the Thunderer's role in the society or in the city?
He's like the main military leader.
Okay.
He trains all the potential Iron Fists.
Shouldn't the main military leader be the leader? Because it seems like a very violent state. That's all they do is fight.
Maybe he's more of a trainer than a leader, I guess. They don't really have a military. They just have the Iron Fist and his second.
So what's the point of training all those kids?
So you can get the best Iron Fist available.
But what they do all the kids do? Like, I guess they have like their own little local tournaments.
That they just like go back to being farmers and merchants and stuff.
Fishermen. Okay. Well, anyways.
I mean, if you're not good enough to be the Iron Fist, you're still probably a good martial artist, but
Who cares?
since they just need to protect, like, the one pass, the entrance to Kunlun, they haven't really needed a standing military until now.
Well, they did say it's impossible to have. Did they say it's impossible? They just said they couldn't have two Iron Fists at once. Is that because they split the power, or?
It's because they split the power.
Yeah, but like I was about to say, there's no point in being the 451st best basketball player in America. If you can't play in the NBA, you might as well quit. Anyways, Wendell and Davos grew up together. They took a liking to each other because they felt like everyone else was lame. Davos said everyone else's stories were boring, weren't interesting. But he found Wendell interesting because, you know, he's different. He's an American man, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, typical, not typical, the prototype of a human being, some would say. Do I agree with that? Maybe not. But anyways, they found each other interesting. They appreciate each other. Started singing stories, and seeing that martial arts is an individual sport, they had a tough time maintaining their relationship throughout the tournament to determine who will face the dragon. What's the dragon's name again?
Shall the Undying?
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Pretty sure.
And yeah, so I guess they got pretty lucky. They met in the unlucky, but they didn't have to fight each other until the final. So there's a good chance that the other one would lose before that, but they didn't, cause story. And they meet in the finals, and you know, Wendell was whipping Davos' ass, and he was pretty much, you know, about to pummel him to death. And Davos wouldn't say I yield. I don't know. I mean, there's no way you can out of this. You're like, your face is getting punched in. Like, just say I yield. Move on. I know you want to be the Iron Fist really bad, but you know, I guess I wouldn't say I yield either if I want something that bad. But
I mean, he was trained from birth. His dad's the one. His dad is either UT or Lee Kong. I can't quite remember. But his dad's either the leader of Kunlun or the one who's been training him his entire life to be the Iron Fist. And to have this Rant, to have this outsider come in and be the Iron Fist,
Outworlder.
He'd be the second Outworlder. That's not something a red-blooded Kunlun could handle.
Yeah, I understand now, I guess now. Yeah.
That's why we don't let immigrants be president.
And never mind.
I mean, it's, you know, it's the same basic.
That makes sense there, because they're natives. But the United States is immigrant.
Yeah,
it's
we're all
immigrant
immigrants.
state. Whatever.
Nothing matters.
Not anymore, I guess. Anyways, Davos didn't back down. I guess now looking back on, he's like kind of the chosen one almost. But,
Yeah, he feels like it at
He
least.
feels like it. I mean, he's been groomed to be the next guy, I guess. But then again, they have to be fair. Everyone an equal shot. He got his ass bust. So I think it was UT that came down and stopped the match. He was like, "No, I didn't say I yield. This is not fair. You're playing favorites because you adopted him, and like you like him for some reason, even though I'm just as good, even though you're not.
You're clearly not.
Again, got your ass properly bust.
You're objectively not as good.
Yeah.
It's not even a question right now.
It's like you're playing 21 and you're beating the guy 19-1, and you know I gotta go right now. My mom's about to leave me. I need to go right now. And the guy, you never beat me. You know we need to start the score next time you see me because you never beat me technically. I'm like, no. Oh, whatever.
It's a game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways, you know, it starts from there where he's like really salty. His whole life goal seems to be to become like have that power of the Iron Fist. Can't get it from the dragon Shalao, and so he has to, you know, like I said in the last part, has to find these human sacrifices, which is the last sacrifice he took was kind of comical because he was chasing some guy, like in like kind of like a bazaar place. Not like bazaar as it's crazy, like a shopping,
the market,
yeah, flea market, and he just grabbed some random guy and just sucked the soul out basically, and the guy was like, "Where are we going?" And like, "Oh, you're dying." And that was pretty cool. Yeah, they have a lot of the parts of intentional dark humor, but like it's subtle. But anyways, Davos, I think he ends up trying to fight the dragon at some point, even though he wasn't chosen to do that.
Yeah.
He fails.
Epically.
Yeah. Wendell went to go do it, climbing the mountain, went actually very far through the cold. He got to like the door. He like couldn't bring himself to do it because he can hear the voice of Orson in his head. And apparently earlier childhood Orson was telling him, "You can't do this." Instead of saying what he really meant, "You shouldn't do this." Makes a big difference. So he ended up not having the confidence to go in. Turned back. Goes to his friend. He thought he was still his friend, Davos. He told him, I wasn't able to do it. I didn't do it. I turned back. And then Davos starts yelling at him. Starts laughing at him. And then, you don't laugh at me. It's a very emotional thing for me. My whole life been building up to this and you're laughing at me? So they fight. And friendship officially broke.
Yeah.
And then Wendell goes on a mission to find Orson. Yep. And he finds Orson. He's like, "Pothead now? What drugs are you doing?"
Pretty sure it's heroin.
Heroin. Apparently
yeah, it's heroin.
Extends your life. I didn't know that.
No, that comes into play in the next like 3 issues from now.
See, Orson was like, "I have to do this because if I didn't have all this stuff, I'd probably be dead." I'm like, I don't know about that.
What was that? Was that at the old folks' home kind of thing with the other people that like he worked the airship with?
No. It was just a shack in the middle of nowhere, full of like these drug devices. I don't know if they were. I don't do drugs, so I don't really know what it is.
Okay, so yeah, it was probably heroin.
Yeah, definitely wasn't a bomb.
Because there's definitely another scene where he's shooting up.
Ooh, nice. I thought this was rated 10 plus. Like if you're 10, I don't know if you should be.
Well, he's not like actively shooting up. There's a needle. And his speech is slurred, and the guy's telling, "Hey, you really probably shouldn't be doing this." He's like, "It's the only thing keeping me alive."
So I can assume little kids wouldn't know that. Oh, he's taking shots. Anyways,
they probably just think it was like magic or something.
Heroin is magic, so you're right. I think it kind of stops right there. Wendell wants to go kill Orson because he had a voice in his head, and he was like, "I don't know what killing him would solve. Talk it out."
You just upset?
Yeah, very upset. Very, very intense story. Everything just turned up to 11, like normal human conflicts just turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Because this is something that would happen when someone is like, you have a voice in your head, like playing sports sometimes, like, "Man, you can't make a three. You need to stop doing that." And then you go take the three wide open in the game, and you're like, "I can't do it." So you start dribbling, you dribble to the basket, you get blocked, or you get stripped, and like your confidence is gone because the person that's talking to you now they're in your head, and you're like, "What the fuck? Like, why'd you do that?" Because I want to beat you up now. And like, apparently he just wants to kill him, but he saw that Orson was in such a terrible state that he's like, I wouldn't feel good about whooping your ass and killing you because you're such a pathetic being at this point.
Yeah.
So that was that storyline. And then we have Zal and the Heroes for Hire, which was nothing much. They were trying to invade that village that Zal was at. Basically that. They were trying to invade that village, beat up a bunch of Hydra, stop the plan. Zal threatened to kill Hogarth's mother and all that. He's a pretty brutal guy, pretty nasty guy.
Yep.
He said, he wants to bring that train and crash into Kunlun and destroy it. But he's like...
It wouldn't just destroy Kunlun, I'm pretty sure it would destroy all of the 7 heavenly cities.
Pretty beefed up train.
Because the way they lined up for the tournament, which determines which city will be able to connect to Earth. Because like each city only comes around, it's like once every 100 years or so.
Is it like the stars aligning type thing?
Yeah, but if they win, it's like once every 15? Yeah, like once every 15 years if you win.
Oh.
If your city wins.
Explain it again. Like, what happens every 15 years?
If your city wins, if your champion wins the tournament, your city's champion, your city will line up with the Earth and be able to connect through the portal once every 15
I
years.
thought you said all of them.
If you lose, all the other cities that lose, it's like once every 108 or something weird.
Okay, but when the tournament's happening, they're all lined up to Earth.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay. So, I told him Zal was, being brutal, wanted to kill Hogarth's mother, because, that's threats. And then he's like, yeah, when you finish this up, all of you get in that train, I'm gonna kill you when it collides with the city. So I'm like, ugh, pretty despicable. He just worked on that train for you, buddy. I don't know, pretty brutal guy. That's basically that storyline, and that's basically the whole little narrative.
Yep.
So I liked it. It had more stuff in there. I kind of glazed over some stuff. But that's the basic gist. Anything I really missed that you want to notice?
Did you read the Civil War comic that came after? Right after? It was
No.
in the same. Okay, no. That doesn't really change anything in the story. That's just.
I was assuming it was all like
That was just an
reprints
interesting.
of other storylines.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was just an interesting little side note.
I still have it, so I'm gonna read it.
It's just Danny dressing up as Daredevil
Okay.
to fight crime, to throw people off the scent of Matt Murdock being Daredevil. Because it's like, hey, he's not Daredevil because Daredevil's over here. So, that's basically all it was.
Alright. Oh wait, question time. What is the role of the random machine that allows people to teleport between the two dimensions?
What do you mean, what's the point? That is the point.
No. I didn't
Oh,
say
what's
point.
the-
What's the role?
What's the role?
Like, how's it viewed by other people? Because it seemed like it was kind of under wraps.
Yeah, it was very secretive. They don't... I would say most people don't like it. Like, Lee Kung, I don't think is a fan.
Because it allows the Iron Fist to leave the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives them way less control over who comes and goes. And did he start with the blue-eyed girl?
Yeah.
I think that's Danny's like half-sister or something, or like adopted
Does he know that?
adopted aunt. They're kind of related somehow. I don't know if he knows it, but they started training the militia,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah.
Similar to Katarina's dojo, actually, a bunch of women. And they were awesome.
And he got that idea before reading, so
Yeah.
great minds think alike.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, the portal, the Rand machine, it's just kind of a nuisance because it's an extra like gateway that you have to defend. And when you really only have one defender, the Iron Fist, who's going to be in Netflix's The Defenders, coming out the 18th. I like that subtle plug. If you just have the one, two doors is hard to... It's just a nuisance.
Does, Zhao know about that second?
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's what Zhao was going to use.
But he couldn't get through for some reason?
He just didn't.
He just didn't, okay. It's hard to fit a train through that little tunnel, I guess.
Oh wait, no, he was going to use the normal portal. But I think he has used the Rand machine.
Okay.
I can't keep some of that straight sometimes.
Alright. So the tyrant that the champions are revolting against is UT.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think it's all the champions. They're not working to fight UT, I don't think.
They were just fighting to fight that immediate danger.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're working to find the 8th city. But the actual revolt against UT is just Lee Kung, the blue-eyed girl, and their militia.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong, but it's not
That's
a
what
huge...
it seemed like.
It's not a huge deal if it's one way or the other.
And Zal's motivation seemed to be that he wants revenge for some wrongdoings upon his family, but I didn't... Like, he just said that. I don't know any more details, so... What was that, though?
I don't really know. Zhao's kind of a... He's not so much a weak villain or like a one-off villain, but he's not a huge deal. He's not someone that like will get his own like backstory issue or whatever. He's not like the Joker or Red Skull or anybody like that.
The real asshole, I know that much.
Yes.
How didn't the Avengers, like any of the Avengers, not know about this?
Well, the Avengers technically don't exist. There are like 7 different Avengers teams, I think, at this point, because it was right after Civil War. So Captain America's dead.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Nice.
Iron Man has everybody registered, and everybody that registered is like split up into a bunch of different teams. They have like the Midwest Avengers, they're called the Great Lakes. There's a team in the Midwest, the West Coast, the East Coast. You just spread throughout the country. I think there's like a Canada team too.
Nice.
But the new event, I think they're called the New Avengers, haven't really been a thing. And then Luke Cage starts something called the Secret Avengers around that time, which is really just like the Heroes for Hire, but bigger. That's actually what what Danny was alluding to. That's what the headquarters is for.
Okay.
It's for the Secret Avengers.
Alright. And, yeah, that was about it. But did they know, though? That's my question. Did they know?
Did the Avengers know?
Yeah. Did anyone else know, or just...
I don't think they cared. Because it's not really a big deal. It's Danny's
Yeah.
world. It's not our world.
Alright.
Or their world.
Oh. My final thoughts are it was a good story arc. I enjoyed it. Nice intensity, nice levity at some points, and it all made sense to me. The only questions I really had was just details about characters. Nothing that came off as like didn't make sense. And I enjoyed it. I mean, it was long as shit, but you know,
Yeah.
it was still good though. And that's how the length that they needed to tell that story, and I'm okay with it. So yeah, if I was to give this a rating, I wouldn't. That's unnecessary. I really enjoyed it. But what's next though? The next part of the Iron Fist?
You want to do part 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So we'll do that. Is that another 16-part thing?
I think it's a little shorter than, it's the same number of pages, but it's less issues.
Oh man, I read it issue by issue, so I'm reading more pages per set.
Maybe. I can't remember.
Jesus. Alright. I like that in the other ones, like the big book of what's it called? Daredevil books. They had a bunch of like single issues, and they weren't that long, so I got through them pretty fast. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's that. Next time doing Immortal Iron Fist Volume 2, the whole thing. Oh, this is our idea. Is that we read the whole book, and we just wait 2 weeks. We do it every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, no, yeah, every other week we'll do it. And then, since we have more time, I can read the whole thing, get more notes down, more details. You could also, do more research or whatever, things you don't remember. And in turn, we'll start doing the wrestling thing every 2 weeks. And instead of you just doing one match, you're going to watch a whole event.
Okay.
And then you come down, you're going to write notes. And I want your thoughts. Because I want you to see not just the main event. I don't want you only to see good wrestling. I want you to see the shit too.
Okay, so that's gonna be like what, 3 hours?
It could be
some events are like 3 to 4.
2 to 3.
Okay.
And I think a lot of interesting characters. I just want to get your take from a clean slate. Anyways, like
Okay.
that idea?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm not watching the whole event of like a New Japan thing,
No,
where
no.
a single thing is an hour,
Yeah.
that would make like a 5 hour.
I mean, some
That
of the events are 5 hours. But no.
So let's not do that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could chop it up. You could chop it up to watch it match by match.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of. It would still be a lot of. We'll do.
We'll do. Okay.
We'll do stuff.
You can expect that weeks from now.
You can expect content.
Yes. Anyways, you can comment.
You should comment.
You should. It's promoted. People will reply to you eventually.
I will reply to you within a day.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't have my computer, so I can't really reply. And you should rate the video. You can get it up, get it down. I wish I had a sideways done. That'd be cool. But I guess that's just the people that just watch it and didn't do it either way. And you should subscribe if you haven't already.
And I relaunched all of our merch.
Yes, you can buy that. All
So
of
you
them.
can buy whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you see something that you want, like if you see a design you want but it's not in a product, tell me, and I'll make it.
Yeah, I've been working on a new design, and it's gonna be good. So, there you go. We hocked all our shit, Sam. It's time to go.